Alright, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This video is over adding mixed numbers. Your objective for this video is, as a student, you should be able to accurately add mixed numbers with unlike denominators. Alright. Graphic organizer. This is actually the same graphic organizer you used for the last video as graphic organizer number 4. This is side 2, so when you take the picture, I will only need side 2 of this one. Okay? Alright. On the left side at the top, you will need to fill out the steps to this graphic organizer, and we are going to use 4 steps. Okay, you need to write these down. If you want to pause the video, you can. I will read each of them to you, and then if you want to pause after that, you can as well. So, number 1, find the least common denominator of the fractions. Remember, anytime we add or subtract fractions, we need a common denominator. So that's what we're going to do on number 1. We're going to try to find out what that common denominator is. Number 2. We're going to rename those fractions using the least common denominator, and we're going to keep our whole numbers. We're just going to leave them. I'll show you that in a minute. Okay? And then add the whole numbers, add the numerators, and we're going to keep the same denominator that we found. And finally, we're going to simplify or convert to mixed numbers if necessary. Seems kind of confusing when I just make a list, but we're going to go ahead and through them, and I'll show you what we're going to do. All right, first thing we need to do is we need to find our common denominator. So we have the numbers 8 and 6. And most of us can figure out that 8 and 6, the common denominator, is actually going to be 24. You could list them, okay? And if you do list them, 8, 16, 24, you'll find that it's going to be 24 anyway. Okay, so that's our common denominator. So we found out what that's going to be. Now, when I do anything with adding fractions, I line them straight up and down. Okay, I line them straight up and down because it's a little bit easier. So 1 and 3/8 plus 4 and 5/6. We said our common denominator is going to be 24. So this is going to be 1 and something over 24. Notice I kept the whole number. I'm just going to leave it there. Okay? And the bottom one is going to be 4 and something over 24. Now, the major question is, how does 8 become 24? Well, you multiply by 3. So 3 times 3, and 3 times 3 is going to give us 9. So that's our numerator, which is 9. Make it look better. Okay, same thing at the bottom. We're going to do the same exact thing. How does 6 become 24? You multiply it by 4. Same thing with the top. How does 5 become 5 times 4 would also be, that gives us 20. Okay, so those are new fractions. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a line underneath, and then I'm simply going to add. I'm going to add my whole numbers. 1 plus 4 is 5. And 9 plus 20 is 29 over 24. Now, 29 24ths. We need to look at 29 24ths. I know it's kind of over that. What's wrong with 29 24ths? Well, 29 over 24 is improper. So what do I need to do? Well, divide. How many times does 24 go into 29? 1. Okay. 1 times 24 is 24. We subtract. We have 5 left over. That equals 1 and 5 24ths. But I'm not done. Because if you remember correctly, down here, I'm going to circle it, I have this 5 as a whole number. So what do? Well, I need to add that 5 and the 1 together, and that's going to give me 6 and 5 24ths. And that's my answer, 6 and 5 24ths. Okay? So, or you can also write it down here, 6 and 5 24ths. Okay? Either one. Go ahead. That's example number 1. We're going to go on to example number 2. This one's a little bit different. This is a whole number plus a fraction. And actually, these are really easy. So what we're going to do, once again, we're going to line them up straight up and down. That's 1 plus 4 and a half. Okay? Now, we said we need a common denominator, but actually on these, we don't. Okay? Because anytime you have 1, whatever this denominator is, 1 can have that same denominator. So it's 2. But how many 2's did we have? Well, we had 0. 0 2's plus 1 2 is just 1 2, or 1/2. Okay? And 4 plus 1 is 5. And that's our answer. It's already simplified. So that's just 5 1/2. That one's an easy one. Moving on to number 3. 2 and 5/6 plus 4 1/3. Remember, we line them up. 2, 5/6 plus 4 and 1/3. We need to find a common denominator. That's going to be 6. So we're going to keep this one, 2 and 5/6. Plus, we're going to go 4. And how does 3 become 6? Well, we'll multiply by 2. So it's going to be 1 times 2 is 2. We add those together, we're going to get 6 and 7 over 6. But unfortunately, once again, 7/6. What's wrong with it? Well, it's improper. So we got to divide. 7/6 divided by that. It's going to give us 1. With 1 left over, that's 1 and 1/6. But we need to add it to this 6 down here that we've got. So that means 6 plus 1 is 7 and 1/6. And that's simplified, and it is in correct form. All right, last one. We have example number 4. Here we go. All right, we have 9 1/2. Once again, line it straight up. 9 1/2 plus 3 and 7/10. What do we do? Well, find a common denominator. This one's going to be 10. 9 is something over 10. How does 2 become 10? Multiply by 5. Remember the rule. If you do something to the denominator, you also do the same to the numerator. So multiply it by 5. 1 times 5 is 5. Okay, down here, we're going to go ahead and add 3 and something over 10, but it's already it, so we're good. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and add. That's going to give us 12 and 12/10. What's wrong with that? Well, 12/10 is, once again, improper. So how do we fix it? Well, 12 divided by 10 gives us 1. Subtract the 10, which is 2 left over. That gives us 1 and 2/10. But we need to add that to the 12, so 1 plus 12 is 13 and 2/10. But this one's not done yet, because you got to be careful. Look at that 2/10. Okay, look at that 2/10. That is not simplified. 2/10 simplified, both of those numbers can be divided by 2. 13 divided by 2 would give us 1. 10 divided by 2 is 5. Our answer is 13 and 1/5. Congratulations. All right, your independent practice. This time, I want you to pause the video and do these 2 problems. You do them on your own, on your graphic organizer, and then once you're done, you can restart the video. Good luck, go. All right, and if you're waiting for me, I'm going to go really quickly through both of these. Here we go. 4 1/8, and plus 2 and 1/5. Common denominator is actually 40. And how does 8 become 40? You should multiply by 5. 1 times 5 is 5. And this one would be multiplied by 8. Sorry, this common denominator is 40. Multiplied by 8, that's going to be 8 at the top. 1 times 8 is 8. Go ahead and add 6 and 13/40. And guess what? That is already simplified. You are done. That's number 1. 2 and 5/8. You should have gotten, added them up like this. We need a common denominator. That's going to be 24. So 2 and something over 24, which is 5 times 3, which is 15. Plus, we have 0. It's the same thing. It's just 0. Over 24, that means multiply by 8. 2 times 8 is 16. 15 plus 16 is 31 over 24. And 2 plus 0 is 2. What's wrong with it? Well, 31 over 24 is not simplified. So 31 divided by 24, it gives us 1 with 7 left over. So 1 7/24. But remember, we got to add our whole number, which is down there at the bottom. It's 2. So 2 plus 1 equals 3 and 7/24. Ladies and gentlemen, that is your answer. So those are your both for your independent practice. Hopefully you know what you're doing at this time. Congratulations, you have an exit ticket. These 2 problems need to be done on your graphic organizer. Both of them you need to show all your work. I am going to score these personally. Make sure when you take a picture of your graphic organizer, I can see these 2 problems. Ladies and gentlemen, remember, you right now should be able to accurately add mixed numbers with unlike denominators. Good luck. Have fun with the worksheet. Get it done quickly. Let's move on to subtraction. I'm out.